Black Jack's curse. The sun had long set on the small western town of Dry Gulch, and the moon was high in the sky when a stranger rode into town. He was a tall, gaunt man with a black hat pulled low over his eyes and a long coat that flapped in the wind. The few people still awake on the street stepped back as he rode by, his horse snorting and stamping in the cool night air. The stranger dismounted in front of the saloon and pushed his way inside. The room was filled with the smoke of cigars and the clink of glasses, but as soon as the stranger stepped through the door, a hush fell over the room. The stranger approached the bar, his boots ringing out on the wooden floor, and ordered a whiskey. The barman hesitated, but eventually poured him a drink, his hand shaking. The stranger drank the whiskey in one gulp and then turned to the room. He removed his hat, revealing a face that was pale and gaunt, with deep-set eyes that shone in the flickering light of the lamps. "Who among you has seen the ghost of Black Jack?" he asked in a voice like gravel. Everyone in the room fell silent, and then a voice called out from the back of the room. "I've seen him," said a man, his face pale. "But I never speak of it." The stranger approached the man, and the room fell silent again. "Tell me what you know," he said, his voice low and dangerous. The man swallowed hard, his Adam's apple bobbing in his throat. Black Jack was a notorious outlaw who terrorized this town many years ago. He was finally caught and hanged from the tallest tree in the valley, but folks say that his ghost still haunts these parts. Some say he comes for those who cross him, or for those who try to take what's his. The stranger nodded, his eyes never leaving the man's face. "I've come to put an end to Black Jack once and for all," he said, and then he turned and strode out of the saloon, his coat billowing behind him. But that was the last anyone ever saw of the stranger. The next morning, the people of Dry Gulch woke to find the stranger's horse tied up outside the saloon, but the stranger himself was nowhere to be found. Some say he rode out into the valley, never to be seen again, while others whisper that he was taken by Black Jack's ghost and doomed to wander the wilderness forever. However, there were those in Dry Gulch who claimed to have seen the stranger after that night. They said he would appear in their dreams, his face twisted into a grotesque lair, and speak to them in a voice filled with malice and hatred. They whispered that he was no longer human, but had become one of Black Jack's minions, cursed to haunt the earth and claim the souls of the living for all eternity. And so, the legend of the stranger and Black Jack lives on, a warning to all who would dare to challenge the supernatural, for those who do so risk losing their very souls to the forces of evil.